Time machines, right? Okay. How about this time machine? Let's imagine you wake up at the Fountain of Time, and depending on which game we're talking about, but you know, let's say, okay, how about it's like Majora's Mask, where you can go back to the beginning of the 3 days. Okay, so let me ask you this about time machines and zero knowledge proofs. If you had total information awareness and you went back in time, let's not say 3 days, let's not say 3 seconds, let's just say like 3 blocks. Somewhere in there, like, if you had complete total information awareness of the future, like, you know, going back in time, playing the Song of Time in Majora's Mask, actually I don't remember if that's the one that does this, but yeah, it takes you back to the beginning of the period. Could you essentially rewrite the entire last block? Like, in other words, with complete foreknowledge, obviously you could go and buy some stock and it would go up, right? Sure. You could do some complex options and reap the result. You could probably even bias a bunch of like entropy, right? But could you, like, with total information awareness and the ability to go back in time, could you completely determine the state of the subsequent block? Or another way to think about it is, could you own all the money in the world with total information awareness and a time machine? Who thinks yes? Give me tomorrow's stock prices and I can have all the money. Okay. Who thinks, I don't think that's a hand raise. Who thinks no, I can get some money but not all of it? All right, and who's got another theory? You're not gonna do, even if I give you tomorrow's Wall Street Journal with all the stock prices, you can't, that's not gonna work for you, you think? Who says that? No, there's nothing that you could really get with a time machine and total information awareness. Oh no, so there's some subtlety then. All right, who wants the mic? Time machines. You want it again? What can you do with a time machine?
How many people know the knowledge?
Yeah, okay, we didn't do the rules. Yeah, that's true. Let's say, I know, but to get into this, then you end up with all this, like, is it Back to the Future rules or Quantum Leap rules? Let's just say that it's like, it's, you have it unambiguously, and it's like signed by the private key of the universe, so it's definitely true. No, we don't want that, because we don't want anyone to be able to verify it. The conditions have to be such that people could plausibly think that you're just crazy or lucky. So let's say that. You get a message that ends up being true. Okay, so with those rules, what would you do? You know what the next block is gonna look like.
So it will only belong to one version of you, the knowledge that you have. Because if you go back in time and do anything about it, you're no longer in the universe for which you had the knowledge initially. Because even if you're giving New York Times from tomorrow, it's no longer the New York Times from my universal timeline anymore. It's from one of my timelines now. Because maybe, yeah, I have the stock price to some certain decimal places, but if I was actually looking and then I had brought that stock, that price should not have been the same to the nth degree anymore.
So there's going to be an equal offset of every action you take, so that the timeline you end up with will be will have equal entropy to the New York Times that you started with. Is that basically your argument? You're not even able to add a little bit of entropy, even with a time machine.
Well, then you're saying that I have perfect knowledge of all my universes.
No, just with the one that was, yeah, that's a weird one. With the yeah. Wow, yeah, that's, so maybe the suggestion is that every time you add entropy, the universe to which you added the entropy no longer exists, basically.
It's saying that basically the knowledge that you had for whichever universe, whenever you act on it, you're no longer in that universe anymore.
But does that work without a time machine? Like, is that true of just a trusted setup?
Well, but then in this instance, you're assuming that the time machine is actually not a time machine, it's a universal switcher. Like you're changing your alternate universe. So it's not a time machine. You never end back in the timeline you were in. You just never end back in the universe you were in.
Wow, round of applause. That's some good debating right there. I got nothing. What does it do to our fantasy? Because we all have it. Oh, if only I could go back to the days of the white paper and I would buy Bitcoin then. Don't tell me you don't have that fantasy, you do. But is it true that, there's this equal offset such that even if you ever were to able to know, then, the universe about which you knew isn't the universe in which you live? Is that a reasonable summary? Yeah. Yeah, brilliant, man, absolutely brilliant. Oh yeah, all right.